Hey everybody, welcome to another video about all the things Latin can do with the ablative case. In this video we talk about the ablative of price, and that's right, the price of something in Latin goes into the ablative case. We have another use of the ablative going into our big ablative box. Alright, let's take a look. The first one, he sells books for gold. I don't know of anybody who sells books for gold. That guy'd be lucky if he could sell books for gold, but whatever. He sells books for gold. He, subject of the sentence, that's a subject pronoun, nominative case. What's he doing? He's selling, verb. What is he selling? He's selling books. Books receive the action. They receive the action of being sold by this guy. So, direct object, accusative case, and he sells those books for gold. For is a preposition, sets off a prepositional phrase. For gold is the prepositional phrase, gold is the object of the preposition, and the whole thing goes in the ablative case because in Latin, price goes in the ablative case. Alright, we'll come back to that in a minute. Let's diagram this. He sells books, and he actually sells for gold. He sells for gold. He sells books for gold. Okay, so let's translate this into Latin. So he sells, from the Latin word vindo, meaning I sell, vindit, and we're going to just use the same word order here to keep things simple. Vindit, he sells books. This is plural accusative. Libros. Alright, no preposition. We'll get rid of the preposition here and just put gold into the ablative case because we're talking about the ablative of price. The word for gold in Latin is aurum. If you know anything about the periodic table, you'll recognize that AU there. AU is the symbol for gold on the periodic table. Vindit libros aurum. But we can't say aurum. We've got to put it in the ablative case, right? Because price goes in the ablative case in Latin. So we're going to change the UM to O. And the sentence is done. Vidit libros oro. He sells books for gold. Let's look at another one. He sells the horse for silver. He, subject of the sentence, that's a subject pronoun. Nominative case, what's he doing? He's selling. Verb, what's he selling? He's selling a horse. The horse receives the action. My pen's going out on me here. For preposition, for whom? Silver, or I'm sorry, for what? Silver. Object of the preposition for silver is a prepositional phrase, and it goes in the ablative case because this is the ablative of price. Another use for the ablative in Latin. The is an article adjective. Okay, he sells the horse. The horse, and he sells that horse for gold. I'm sorry, for silver. Alright, in Latin, vindit, he sells just one horse. Equum, that's accusative singular right there, equum, and he sells it for silver. The word for silver in Latin is argentum. Take a wild guess. What did the early Spanish discover when they colonized Argentina? If you guessed silver, you passed the test. Vindit equum. He sells the horse for silver, but we've got to put argentum into the ablative case. So we're going to change argentum to argento. Vindit equum, argento. This is also where the French get the phrase or the noun l'argent, which is basically just an L with an accent mark or an apostrophe in front of it. And that's one of the words that they have for money. So l'argent. Also from this Latin word meaning silver, which makes sense because the Romans conquered Gaul and would have used silver in the territory. This is from the New Testament. They sold him for 20 pieces of silver. This actually may be from the Old Testament. Okay. They sold him for 20 pieces of silver. Oops. They. Alright, subject of the sentence, it's a subject pronoun. They, what are they doing? They're selling. Verb, what are they selling? They're selling him. Oh, this is Joseph's brothers. who sold him to the Midianite traders in Egypt. For preposition, for what? 20 pieces of silver. So it gets a little weird here. For 20 pieces, you could do it this way, right? And then 20 describes pieces. Or you could just kind of treat the whole thing as one word for 20 silvers, which is what we're actually going to do here. And then silver over here would be the object of the preposition. And the whole phrase here would be in the ablative case. If we had done it as for 20 pieces, and then treated this as another prepositional phrase of silver, this would be in the genitive case. But really, a piece of silver is a piece of money in the ancient world, and so we're not going to separate these two. We're going to treat piece of silver as one noun. Alright. They sold him for, here we have our problem again, for, let's just treat it all as a noun, as I said we were going to do. Pieces of silver. Oops. How many pieces of silver? Okay, I just totally messed up on silver there. Let me fix that because that's going to drive me crazy. Silver. Okay. And how many pieces? 20. They sold them for 20 pieces of silver. Okay, so now all we have to do is translate this into Latin. So they sold, that's a different tense. We're not going to get into this too much, but they sold in Latin vendiderunt. 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 And that's they, it's past, and so we add it to a different root word. As I said, we're not going to get into all of this, but this is just a different verb tense. Vendiderunt, they sold him. Vendiderunt eum, and they sold him for 20 pieces of silver. Now this whole thing here is going into the ablative case. Alright, so we'll go with the 20 first. So, viginti. Viginti, and then pieces of silver. We'll just treat this as silver. So we're just going to write argentum. But we're going to make it plural. Plural ablative. Argentis. Argentis. Vendiderunt eum viginti argentis. By the way, if you want to go deeper into all of the noun, or I'm sorry, all of the verb forms, I go over all of that in my course online, Visual Latin. So you can check that out over at visuallatin.com. Alright, if you like Latin, want more information, want to discuss this stuff, or ask me questions, you know where to find me. I'm over at DwaneThomas.com. Don't forget to subscribe to this video, guys, and I'll see you soon.